I've seen him in action as a head coach, and he didn't have it then. I haven't really watched the sidelines of the Rams to see if he's developed it now.
Look, I think he did a really good job with the Rams. And this is also it's something we've seen around the league for a few years. Hey, he had lunch with Sean McVay. That means he has to be brilliant.
Well, he's connected to all the right people, right? When I'd said that he was a 2-time Super Bowl winning coach, he has a ring from being on Tony Dungy's staff, or, well, I guess it was Gruden's staff or Monty Kiffin's staff with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the first time they won the Super Bowl back in 2002. He was a quality control guy on the defense then. He probably didn't have that great of a role, but you see the philosophies that he grew up in, all the connections that he's made with his jobs over the season, and obviously still has connections as well, liked in Atlanta.
No doubt.
It says a lot about a guy for you to have been a coach there, even though it was an interim head coaching position. You had a losing record, and for that same franchise to look at you and go, you know what, you weren't ready before, but you're ready now. And maybe something that like the Milwaukee Bucks will do with Adrian Griffin at some point.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
You don't know. Sometimes the guy's just not the guy at that moment. Maybe Raheem Morris is the guy for the Atlanta Falcons now. I'm just glad we won't have to look across the sidelines as NFC South fans and see Bill Belichick over there. Wasn't looking forward to that.
Yeah, I would say Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan. Well, Bijan's probably sad. Because he was going to get 243,000 carries.
Yes.
But I would wager Kyle Pitts and Drake London went, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm good. You good with that? I'm good with that. That's totally fine with me.
Right. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Who's next is the question. Seattle going to be the one?
Neither one of them are hiring a coach before the weekend. I have that on
They're waiting.
Pretty good authority.
They're waiting to see who loses this weekend.
And that kind of makes me read tea leaves. Washington, I already know. It's Ben Johnson. Nothing's changing that. Mm-hmm. My curiosity is who is it that Seattle could want that's still coaching? Because if you're going defense, Aaron Glenn. He's already had interviews with a bunch of teams. Yeah. I love Aaron Glenn. I don't think that. I'm not doing it.
I wouldn't either. Because, again, that's one of those things of I'm going to make you my head coach, and you weren't great as a defensive coordinator.
Well,
and he has been.
He has done good things as a coordinator. That's not really the problem I have. The problem that I have is, okay, what's your staff going to look like? Because it's all either former New Orleans guys or guys that were with him in Detroit. Well, Ben Johnson's taking all the Detroit guys. So what are we planning on doing here? And that makes me super nervous.
How's Ben get all the Detroit guys?
Because he's the offensive coordinator. He probably had a hand in building the staff, and everybody goes up a spot coming with him. And I'm not everybody, but he'll cherry pick that staff and take who he wants.
Mm-hmm. Even the defensive guys that work under him?
No, I'm talking about the offensive guy. I'm talking about an offensive staff. I said, how is Aaron Glenn going to hire an offensive staff? Because Ben will take all the offensive guys. They've worked directly with him for, 3 years now?
Mm-hmm.
No, defensive guys,
Carmichael's
I don't really
available?
Oh, yeah, I'll pass. That's actually the name that I was afraid of because they work together in New Orleans.
Absolutely.
So I'm good on all that.
Yeah.
The one I'm looking at, if I'm trying to read tea leaves here, would be Mike McDonald. Is that you're waiting for Baltimore to either win a Super Bowl or get knocked out, and that's who you ultimately want to hire.
Mm-hmm. Or it could be time for Steve Spagnuolo to get another look.
Yeah, I can't tell you who it is. I can tell you it's not. It's not Steve Spagnuolo. I'll promise you that.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. When we come back, we'll get just a bit outside.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
It's been an unsettled week. The clouds will stick around this afternoon, but no unsettling weather. Just very mild. I'll take it for January 26th. 68. Tonight, clouds, fog, 52. The next change Saturday with some scattered showers developing. Thunderstorms are also possible in the afternoon, high 60 and breezy. Saturday night to Sunday, showers, thunderstorms. They should end as showers Sunday morning, then gusty winds in the afternoon, bringing in the drier, cooler air, 48. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. When you think Wendy's Biggie Bag, think your go-to meal deal. Because with your choice of JBC or crispy chicken sandwich, plus 4-piece nugs, junior fries, and a small soft drink, Biggie hits every time. So grab a Wendy's Biggie Bag today. U.S. price and participation may vary. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls Table at ingalls-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
I'm starting the new year by making my home feel like new with the advanced cleaning of Zero Res. Take advantage of their New Year's sale. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $119. And when you mention ESPN Asheville, you'll get a hallway clean for free. Schedule online at zeroresasheville.com.
Car won't start on a work morning? That's a job for roadside assistance.
Getting you cranked for the day? That's a job for First News on 570 with Mark Starling.
On News Radio 570 WWNC.
Let Express Employment Professionals help you hire for contract or full-time jobs. Forget about posting jobs, sifting through resumes, and interviews with unqualified applicants. Go to expresspros.com to find the location near you. That's expresspros.com.
Did you know that Ingalls sells more organics than any other store? Or that they run their own dairy? Or that they only serve USDA choice and prime meat? Did you know that they have more local craft beer than any place else? Or that they have Energy Smart stores? Or that they professionally slice and package imported cheese from Europe? Did you know about their giant international aisle, local farm partnerships, curbside pickup, wine department, or that they donate 3,956 meals a day to local food banks? Well, now you do. It's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. It's a huge weekend in the NFL with the AFC, NFC Championship games going on. Massive weekend for all the cities that have teams involved. None bigger, though, than the city of Detroit. Detroit has not won a title since 1957. They haven't even been in an NFC Championship game since 1991. And one of the biggest employers in Detroit is doing right by their employees. GM has announced that at their main plant, that is actually the only one that has a third shift because it's the only one that they have that turns out their biggest trucks, the Sierra, the GMC Sierra, and the Chevy Silverado, they're the main outlet here. And GM went, you know what? We don't want anybody to miss the game. So third shifters, you can come in an hour late. Now, we're not going to pay you for it. See, that would have been the thing to do. You should have paid the third shift the extra hour, just as a little bonus. But the fact that you don't have to get in trouble for missing the game,
well, I mean,
right? Because it's fourth quarter, it's time to, or third quarter, and it's time to go to work. Like I'm watching the clock and what. Now I don't have to do that. They're delaying third shift, so every worker in Detroit at the GM plant will be able to see the entirety of the game.
Can't. Sick. That's what they were trying to preclude. If I don't let you come in late, we're going to have the weirdest case of the flu breakthrough that you've ever seen. You probably don't have it anyway.
Right. Also, GM has changed their logo. Have you seen the GM logo that they've now put up on all their socials and on the video board that's outside of the plant and the corporate headquarters? They have now put a little kitty cat tail on the end of the G in GM to show their support for their Detroit Lions as they go on to face the San Francisco 49ers this week.
Sweet. My story is, yeah.
What is your derision?
I don't buy American cars. I don't.
Racist.
You're using that word horribly wrong.
Don't buy American car. I thought you were America first.
Not when it comes to cars.
I guess everybody's got their lines, right?
Oh, no doubt. It's kind of like computers. Nobody's ever looked at a computer and gone, oh, yeah, this thing's great. It was made in Russia. No, that's never happened in the history of time. Some people do things better. My story is about the National Football Fantasy Football Championship. Yes, I do see the irony that you put why'd you put football in the title twice? Could you not have just called it the National Fantasy Football Championship?
Yes. How do they decide this?
So it's basically a fantasy football DraftKings type contest that's run by Sports Hub.
Mm-hmm.
Had 1,543 people, 1,521 people, excuse me. And the winner, the eventual winner, will take home $150,000. But there's been shenanigans. An employee was changing somebody's roster. So on January 20th, the user switched Raheem Mostert for Aaron Jones. Mostert had already played, was pretty much a non-factor against Kansas City. Aaron Jones started hot against Dallas, ultimately scored 3 touchdowns. Well, after the first touchdown, he switched Mostert to Aaron Jones because he had the ability to do that. He worked back a house, so he just switched it. The scary thing is they don't know how many times this guy had done this for this individual contestant because they can't fully track it. Because unless you took a screenshot of who the guy had when the game started, there's not really a record of that. Contestant has been disqualified, and the employee has been fired. No shenanigans in fantasy football. It's an important competition, and we don't do any of that.
Integrity only in the fantasy football.
Integrity is your greatest itty.
So is this like a DFS thing, or?
Yes, okay. And it runs through the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
So the contest will continue, but without the cheater.
Aha.
Who that dude me said he switched Rashee Rice and Kelsey too.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We do have a topic question from GG Gambling. You want to get to this? Let's go.
Yes. Because the last 2 hours are going to be about the conference championship
about all the
games.
Yeah, we're going to we'll do the AFC at the top of the next hour. We'll do the NFC at the bottom of the next hour, and then the daily draft is, well, it's probably going to take up most of the third hour of the program,
and then
as it usually does.
And then we'll give picks at the end of the third hour.
Yes. So, GG Gambling says if you're the ex-coach of the Raiders, Chargers, Titans, Panthers.
If you're the coach that's been hired by any of the teams in this cycle.
Okay. What is the first move that you make for your team?
The easiest one is the Panthers. That's the easiest one.
What's the first move?
I'm moving Ike Mekwonu to guard, and I'm going to find me a left tackle. I'm going to pray to all that's good and holy that it's Jordan Morgan at 33. Because I feel like that's a bigger need than even receivers. And yeah, I need a receiver. This draft's really deep at receiver. It is not really deep at offensive tackle.
Mm-hmm. How about the Patriots?
My first move is going to be the biggest move with Gerard Mayo is going to be who runs the offense. The good thing is you don't have to worry about all your defensive guys being pilfered by Bill, unless he needs a staff to help him do walks of shame in Martha's Vineyard. We're back to sexy time.
I need somebody to be my key grip.
I don't even know what that means, and I'm terrified of what that term means.
It's running a camera. Big,
okay.
Heavy camera. It's usually a big dude. Anyhow. So finding somebody to
by
run.
the way, you think Bill's got a Tinder profile yet? It's like, well, I'm going to be unemployed. Swipe right for sexy time.
I mean, isn't he married?
No.
Is he not?
No.
Okay.
There was a long-time girlfriend. He had a long-time girlfriend that I think he split up with a while back.
Yeah.
That's why there's been so many jokes about now he's unemployed and single.
I got you.
Yeah, now he's
officially footloose and fancy free.
He's the loser boyfriend that you don't want your friends to date. I'm in between jobs right now. Some people would say I'm the Bill Walsh of my era.
No, I feel like that's a warning sign for any ladies. You know, that just Bill seems like the kind of guy that comes out of your bathroom without any pants on the first date. Like you've taken him home.
Oh, he's going full naked, man? Let's go.
No. He just comes out in the tidy whities like, so.
I had an idea. He's going full naked, man, just sitting on the couch. Full Dio. Let's go.
Look, I felt like we were in the red zone and I had to take my shot.
I called a play action 9 route. Apparently the coverage rolled.
This devolved. It's devolved quickly.
Patrick Holt with probably the comment of the day. He took it out. I don't even know what we were talking about before we went down this rabbit hole.
We were talking about fixing the teams. We were talking about what is the first thing that you're going to do as the new coach for any of these teams.
Sorry, Taylor M's got a comment. I can't let this go. Mm-hmm. He said, "We're on to Smash Natty."
Smashing.
Oh, there's so many places I want to go with this. I'm telling you right now, if we ever end up on Sirius, we will talk about fantasy, or we will talk about football half as much as we do now, because all the jokes that I want to say, I'll be able to say them.
Mm-hmm. Can't get there now. Let's see. Raiders.
With New England, my answer is I got to find somebody to run the offense.
Yes. Raiders. First move there.
I mean, you did what you had to do with Antonio Pierce. So now the question is, we're going to have to huddle in a room and go, so we're going to talk about what we're doing at quarterback, because I don't know that it's anybody in this room, and if it is, it's Farva over here. So getting rid of Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm going to swallow the frog, because before I took that job, if I was Antonio Pierce, I would have had to have looked at Mark Davis and said, this is not a one-year turnaround, right? I mean, I might be able to get us to the playoffs next year, maybe. In terms of being Super Bowl contender, you're a year away from that at minimum. And that's if I do everything right.
All right, you're Harbaugh. What are you doing for the Chargers first?
Probably deciding between Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. Which one am I going to build around? Because I don't think you can keep both. $70-some-odd million? No way. Mm-hmm. And if it wasn't that, I'm going to try to identify a running back. Look, this draft is not good at running back. And so I'm going to be poking around to see if there's somebody that I can procure that I think can be my bell cow. Because this is not Austin Eckler.
No.
He's not that guy. He's never been that guy.
And is he under contract next year?
Yes.
Did we decide that?
Yes.
He is. Okay. I was thinking there's another one in that division that could become available. Josh Jacobs.
I don't necessarily think he's getting out of Las Vegas. I don't think Tom Telesco is going to let him out of that building.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't be shocked if it's a much easier negotiation than it was.
Is it going to be much more affordable?
Yes. I mean, he wasn't that expensive in the first place. $7-8 million is not that expensive.
Mm-hmm. For a running back?
I mean, it's not cheap, but it's...
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm looking at Saquon Barkley going, well, I could have 2 Austin Ecklers for the cost of 1 Saquon Barkley.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong there. The Titans, your first move there.
Titans is it's the biggest move of the offseason for them. What am I taking at 7? Because that's going to determine the rest of my offseason. Am I chasing Malik Neighbors or Rome Odunze? Am I comfortable with either one of them being there? Or am I going Ola Fashanu, Joe Alt? And you have to know that whichever one it is that you want may not be there. For me, I'm comfortable with any of them. I don't care. I'm going to draft one of those guys. But I've got to chase whatever I don't have. Because you got to come away with this, from this offseason, with a receiver and an offensive tackle. End of message, repeat the line. You got to have the franchise guy on the left side. You got to have the receiver for the long term. I personally would go Joe Alt and try to chase T. Higgins at free agency. Because worst case scenario, I wind up with Fashanu, who's a really good pass blocker right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't think I'm going to have a hard time if I'm Brian Callahan convincing the Rand Carthon or Amy Adams Strunk, either one of them in concert. You saw what happened to this team when we got rid of the offensive weapon, right? We got rid of A.J. Brown, and you saw this team just go in the tank. We need to spend on T. Higgins. That would be my first meeting. And then my second meeting would be with all of my scouts. Tear these tackles apart. I want everything down to what they had for breakfast every day for the last year, because I have to know which one's going to be the one.
Oh, well, I think the answer is going to be they're both the one. It's just a question of what you're after.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I would rather see Joe Alt with the Commanders and Fashanu with the Titans. I mean, personally, I would rather see Alt or Fashanu with the Jets, but that's me being selfish. If I'm the Titans, I got to identify left tackle, wide receiver.
And the Falcons.
Falcons all ties back to quarterback. Raheem Morris, I'm going to go chase Zach Robinson. We've obviously been in very close concert with each other for an extended period of time. And I would just go to him and say, look, I know you're getting offers other places. I'm going to turn the offense over to you. And 1 year from now, you're going to be the hottest head coaching candidate in this cycle. And one of your underlings is going to replace you. And that's the attraction of here. And you'll have a direct say in the quarterback. And once we get the quarterback, I think this team is fine. Mm-hmm. That would be where I'm at.
And we all know where he wants to go at quarterback. He wants Baker Mayfield. They work together in L.A. It's flawless logic. Flawless.
He's going to be your quarterback. The one you didn't ask me was Seattle, and it's all about quarterback too.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Tao asked, where does Vrabel land? And if he's so good, why does he not have a job? It's more this cycle than it is that – you got to understand this is not in a vacuum. This is not like playing Madden. I got to find a team that really lines up with what I've got. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't see one that lined up with Vrabel. None of them really made all that much sense because he's not going to change that much. And I do think if he took a job, he would come with Arthur Smith, who is kind of a diminished asset at this point, even though he's getting a lot of looks as an offensive coordinator. And I won't be shocked if there are a few guys I could see him with that are first-time head coaches.
Yeah. I'm still locked. If Vrabel was going to get a job, he'd get Seattle. Running the ball and playing good defense, it just fits.
Seattle seems to be really committed to hiring a defensive guy, and I'm not so sure it's not a defensive guy that's coaching this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So Mike McDonald is the only one that really makes sense to me. You said Steve Spagnuolo earlier, and I about peed my pants. I laughed so hard.
Nobody's doing that again?
No, we've done that twice. He's 65 years old. We're on to new things, kind of like Bill Belichick.
Yeah,
we're on to Smash Natty. I'm very used to pounding the rock.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
See what I did there?
Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry is hosting a Fall in Love with Your Smile Invisalign scan event on Wednesday, February 14th. You're going to get a free simulated 3D scan to show how your teeth could look after an Invisalign treatment. This event is going to be so fun with giveaways that include discounts, local gift cards, and one lucky person can even win half off treatment. Attendees are going to get the best price on Invisalign in North Carolina. Visit AshevilleSmiles.com today to reserve your spot at the Fall in Love with Your Smile event.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-374-2103. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-374-2103 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-374-2103. 800-374-2103. 800-374-2103.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com, your one-stop custom apparel shops.
At Ingalls, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Not only does it ensure that you get top-quality, fresh items for your family table, it's a way for us to support the amazing individuals who pour their heart and soul into delivering the very best they can do. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed available at your local retailer.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man.
It is the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville Championship Weekend analysis and previews and picks all heading your way here in the Sportsocracy over the next 2 hours. But first, we got to talk about Jim Harbaugh. He's talking, which is not a bad thing, but he's weighing in on the Michigan job. We all feel like we know how this is going to go, don't we? It's Sharon Moore, the guy that you entrusted the program with during the suspension this year. To me, that kind of strikes in the same vein of things that we've seen over the last few years in the NFL. The Steve Wilkes thing in Carolina, the Rich Bisaccia thing in Las Vegas, the Antonio Pierce thing in Las Vegas. Did you correlate that in your brain like I did? Because I looked at that and went, that locker room believes in that guy.
It's not so much that I correlated that way. I mean, I see what you're doing there. It's the right call. I've heard the Brian Kelly thing. I don't get it. I mean, I think Brian Kelly's fine where he's at. I don't see where there should be interest on either side there. Sharon Moore's the right call. And now Jim Harbaugh has come out and said it. I've got the quote. I'll always be a loyal Wolverine, but not a better man to coach the team than Sharon Moore. He has my vote, my support wholeheartedly. I feel like it's in great hands. So, I mean, I think it's already done. It's just a formality. I don't really understand why it's taken them this long to announce it.
I don't either. Because there's been no word that they've looked elsewhere, that they've brought so-and-so in for an interview, or you look at every breakdown of Detroit area press or Michigan press, they all believe that this is how this is going to go down. I have seen a couple of lists, but you just do that to fill slot.
No doubt.
Everybody feels like Sharon Moore is the guy. The only other names that are getting thrown around about this are, as you said, Brian Kelly. I think I saw one with Mike Hart's name on it. You're definitely not doing that. You're not going over Sharon Moore to hire Mike Hart off of that staff. I have seen Mike McDonald's name thrown around, but he's not coming back to the college.
No, there's a way better. There's a way better chance he's taking an NFL job.
Right, when the NFL is probably going to call. If not for the Seattle job this cycle around, then he'll definitely be at the top of most people's list next year when that cycle comes around. So I couldn't see that happening either. Sharon Moore's the right call. He admirably led this team, helped them galvanize the whole bet thing. Remember him crying after the game, and some people gave him a hard time about that. But to me, it was genuine. It was a true emotional moment of a guy who's been through thick and thin with this team, and they've been through a lot of turmoil, and he felt the gravity of that moment. To me, that's the kind of leader that I want in a locker room. That's why when I look at guys like Todd Bowles, who sit there emotionless, you can't win that way. You can win with a guy like Sharon Moore.
I agree.
Because he inspires heart from his players.
Well, and he also will keep the recruiting class intact. At least I believe he will.
He should.
I mean, because most of these Michigan guys aren't going with Harbaugh. He had a staff that was largely a college staff. So, I mean, I think you could keep a lot of things in place. It just makes all the sense in the world. All the Ohio State people are saying, you can totally have Ryan Day. I don't think I have ever seen a coach that won more and was hated by more of his own fans than Ryan Day. And I get it.
Well, just wait until they spend all this money on their NIL deals and still lose a national championship. That is going to get real loud.
Oh, no doubt.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
It's been an unsettled week. The clouds will stick around this afternoon, but no unsettling weather. Just very mild. I'll take it for January 26th. 68. Tonight, clouds, fog, 52. The next change Saturday with some scattered showers developing. Thunderstorms are also possible in the afternoon, high 60 and breezy. Saturday night to Sunday, showers, thunderstorms. They should end as showers Sunday morning, then gusty winds in the afternoon, bringing in the drier, cooler air, 48. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else. And we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. From your cell, dial pound 250 and say keyword great results. That's pound 250 and say great results.
You can make the decision right now to get lasting relief from that awful joint pain for 2024. Don't go another year compromising because of that pain in your knees or shoulder. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative non-surgical pain relief. Your body has what it needs to restore and repair that damaged joint tissue, and QC Kinetics can make it happen. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. The future of pain treatments has arrived, and QC has tens of thousands of satisfied patients all over America. People with back pain, hip pain, any pain associated with arthritis or an injury. This is not a Band-Aid. This is a revolutionary treatment that can get you moving again. Get your life back. And listen, it's non-surgical. If this is the year you decide to fight back against the pain, take the first step now. Call QC Kinetics. Get a free consultation on the calendar today. Call 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, cash. That's cash. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls Studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. It's the Sportsocracy. We're heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, and we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to the sportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. Join us in the chat. It is a
Football Friday.
Football Friday, indeed. We got the conference championship games coming up.
I'm a lot more excited when it's my last day at work. I get to be let out the door to roam amongst the other draft nerds for a week.
Jeremy headed down to Mobile, Alabama for the Senior Bowl next week. We will have live look-ins each and every day from the Senior Bowl with Flostradamus, Jeremy Green. This weekend is the conference championship games, AFC Championship Game, 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, and we will have a live stream. We're going to be testing out our mobile equipment, so we will be at our respective houses.
We have to know if it works, because if we have to adjust things, it would really help if I could do it while I'm still here.
So we're going to be testing the equipment, along with hanging out with you, watching the AFC Championship Game, and reacting in real time. 3 o'clock start in Baltimore, Kansas City, going on the road for the AFC Championship Game for the first time in this run of 6 straight AFC Championship Game appearances. And the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson, especially, trying to, shed off that whole they can't win in the playoffs thing.
I feel like this is the best team that Baltimore's ever had. I said this yesterday, I feel like Lamar Jackson gets more blame for things that are not necessarily his fault than any quarterback I've ever seen. And I don't know why that is, but this is where you have the opportunity to shut everybody up. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You can end all of this right now. And this is the first time I think I've ever looked at a conference championship game and gone, I don't see a path that this is not just an epic showdown that we talk about for years to come.
Not a path? Not a single path.
Who would get blown out? Can you imagine this Baltimore team getting blown out?
No.
Can you imagine Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes getting blown out in the playoffs?
I can.
I can't.
Okay,
I'm gonna need you to explain that.
I've seen it happen. I saw it happen in the Super Bowl.
You have got to get
defense,
away from that one Super Bowl. That
Why?
was Pat Mahomes' second year. It was his second year as a starter.
I get it.
I mean, my God, a lot of things have changed since then. That's
No
like
doubt.
the third time you brought that up to me today.
Mm-hmm.
That was a long time ago with a way different roster. Things were entire. That defense was horror awful. That offensive line was horror awful.
I'm not saying
it ain't
wasn't.
awful now.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying that this is the same team. I'm just saying we have seen this happen before. We have seen them get manhandled in a playoff game.
But you're right. I saw Andy Reid get blown out too in Philadelphia. That matters about as much as what it is about as much as what you keep trying to convince me matters.
No, absolutely. I think Baltimore has it in them to make this a 2-score game, and in all scenarios, that is a blowout in the NFL. I can't
agree.
see
I
it
just
going
don't
the
see
other
it.
way.
I can't see it going the way you just said. For me, there are 3 potential outcomes here, and the thing that would scare me if I'm Kansas City is I feel like 2 of them lean to Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Baltimore can come out, reasonably control this game, touchdown lead for most of it. Maybe they tack on a late field goal win by 10. But it doesn't feel like a blowout per se. It was always, we just need one break. Kansas City never gets the break.
Mm-hmm.
Or this is going to come down to a field goal late. Justin Tucker or Harrison Butker drill it. And that's how this goes. Because I do not see Kansas City coming in here and blowing them out at home.
Mm-hmm.
This stadium's going to be so loud.
I think it's Kansas City, their best option or their best outcome in my mind that I can logically get to is a field goal win. I can see any manner of ways happening for the Baltimore Ravens. Again, I'm not trying to slight anybody. I just feel like it's going to be really tough for Kansas City to score on this defense. Because I'm not sure, if Isaiah Pacheco has a great game, okay, there would be a path for that. But I think they're going to be able to mitigate Travis Kelce, who has not been the automatic that we all want him to be, that we all have thought he has been for all these years. He hasn't been that this season. They will rely on him, sure. But Baltimore has the defensive scheme to be able to, and the personnel to be able to neutralize him in many ways. Plus, if the drops are still going to be a problem, you can add that on top of it.
I've never
and
seen
I
a
think they're
defense.
going to be able to get enough pressure to make it uncomfortable.
I've never seen a defense more uniquely positioned to beat Kansas City than the one I'm looking at right here. Because you asked me before the show, how does Baltimore deal with Travis Kelce? Well, I'm going to throw Kyle Hamilton at him quite a bit because he's real big and he's real mobile and he's real physical. I'll have a little sprinkle of Roquan Smith, a little sprinkle of Patrick Queen, and then I'm going to throw a little zone at you. And if one of them doesn't work, I'll just lather it up and do it with another one. I don't know that I've ever seen a team with three guys that I felt like could go one-on-one with Travis Kelce and not get annihilated. And that's kind of the swing to me, is that I do, and Mike Baker hit the nail right on the head. The Chiefs could get blown out if the turnovers and penalty issues they've dealt with all year show up again. The penalties would bother me a lot. Turnovers, to me, it would have to be somebody other than Pat. Like, I don't see a path that Pat comes in and throws 3 picks in this game. Do you?
Probably not, because I feel like he's smarter than that. But how many of those can come because of the pass catchers? How many times can we see that happen? I feel like we've seen it several times this season, where it bounces off of Kelce and hits a defender. Or heck, the big interception in the Lions game at the beginning of the year. Bounced right off of Kadarius Toney into an opposing player's hands, and boom, we score a touchdown. You get behind by 14 points to Baltimore somehow, some way. Say they get the ball first, they come out and drive down the field and score. Next series, there's a turnover, and they score again. It's done. Kansas City will not be able to come back because I don't believe that your weapons can do it.
Well, and that's the thing. Your margin for error has just never been smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I feel like this is going to be – I feel like I can already write the headlines for this of Gambit fan. I see a path, MVS having a case of the drops. Let's say that happens. The headlines Monday are going to be Kansas City make a mistake trading Tyreek Hill. Well, I mean, they did win a Super Bowl last year, so I'm going to say no. New England broke us when it came to an entity like Kansas City. That you just think we're going – first of all, there's revisionist history with New England because people think that the dynasty was more dominant than it was. There was about a 10-year period where it was borderline dormant. Yeah, they made the playoffs, but they got beat a lot in the playoffs. And people seem to forget that. New England just haunted all of our nightmares if we weren't New England Patriot fans for so long that we thought, oh, well, they're just lathering up in the AFC Championship every year. They might have been. And in places they were.
I was going to say, they did. They made, 8 in a row?
It was
I think 8's
was
the
it
record.
8 in a row?
Yeah. I think 8's the record.
I thought they
in a
had
row.
something in between that, but I could easily be wrong. Kansas City's a flawed roster at this point. You have 2 pass catchers that you really trust. The thing that's different now, and I felt like this is where they were steering when they made the move on Tyreek Hill, is exactly what happened to Miami. You live with speed, you die with speed too. And that would be the flip of the coin with Kansas City for me. I feel like this is a safer team than they've ever been. Because they're going to try to grind you out. And if they could average a little over 4 yards a carry, they're going to be in great shape to win this game. Problem is, I don't know that you can do it. Even with an unbelievable offensive line, you've still got the one turd in that punch bowl, and it's Jawan Taylor. By the way, you remember? You remember? I remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers. I'll never in my life understand how an organization this good looked at Jawan Taylor and went, let's do that. That looks like so much fun. Did you just go to PFF and go, see, he's the highest rated passer?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a little misleading, but yep, that's true.
Has it been that bad?
Oh, he's been awful.
With Juwan?
He's been awful.
I mean, I know he's had the false start issues, but has
most
he been
penalized
getting
player
beat?
in the league. Well, I mean, he's always been good in pass pro. That's not the problem. You just can't run behind him. He is a one-dimensional player, and he's the highest-paid right tackle in the NFL, and it's dumb. It was the problem when he came out in the draft. It's a problem with Jacksonville. It's a problem now. And I'm just looking at I'm looking at this Baltimore defense, going, I feel like that almost that puts Kansas City to a point where they're almost playing with their hands tied behind their back. Because the interior of the line's great. Here's the problem. You know what's on the opposite side of that? Justin Madubuike. I know he's not as big a name as Chris Jones. This year, he's been almost as good, if not better. And depending on which metric you're looking at, he may have been better.
Mike McDonald made him a boatload of money.
Well, he's always been good. But yeah, he did.
I was going to say, Madubuike went from, that's a pretty respectable contract, to, holy, he's worth that much?
Yeah, Madubuike went from, man, you're a really good run stuffer, and you actually are a capable pass rusher, just not a lot of, and you did that?
Mm-hmm. Would he end up with 9 sacks this year? Something like that?
I think it was more than that.
I think it was quite a few. He has.
As a matter of fact, I know it was more than that.
Is it more than that?
I don't remember exactly how many it was, but I know it was more than that.
Mm-hmm.
No, ESPN, I don't want to know who's leading the playoffs. Why do you do that?
I have no idea.
Why do you do that? I don't care what they've done in 2 games.
Because it's the only way that they can get Baker Mayfield at the top of the list again.
Madubuike had 13 sacks.
13? Wow.
Yeah, and you know who I blame for ESPN putting postseason stats on top of the stats page?
Who's that?
Biden. I heard somebody do that the other day, and I can't stop doing it.
Just blaming everything on
it was some hee-haw that was blaming their whole life on Biden. It was like one syllable. I've driven my wife crazy with it, so I feel I might as well do it to you now.
Aha. Well, we appreciate you. Not really.
Oh, it's fine. Not really. Hey, you ain't got to deal with me for 11 days. It'll be like a vacation for you, too.
Mm-hmm. What do you think? Where do you come down on the coaching matchup here? Because that's really interesting to me because I've got these guys at like 1-3, maybe.
I was going to say, I feel like it's really even. One hasn't had the run like Andy Reid has. John Harbaugh hasn't had a run like these last handful of years. That's the only differentiator. I mean, if you look at them minus Pat Mahomes, they're the same exact coach. Andy Reid was this same guy that Harbaugh is. He's in the playoffs every year. He just never gets to the top of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see a path that John Harbaugh's about to have a run here where he's consistently the 1 or the 2 seed, 1, 2, 3 seed, and a threat every single year.
Well, as long as he can keep his quarterback healthy, and as long as they can keep the band together as much as they can. Stop wasting, $18 million on Odell Beckham Jr.'s. And aside from that, that's the only real misstep this front office has had.
It really helps when you have a team that can draft like this. Ain't it funny? The teams that we talk about being so good in the draft. Detroit, Kansas City, Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that's just an accident, though.
No.
Yeah, why do you idiots talk about the draft 3 months? Yeah, you're right. There's no role in it. It's just it's a little cartoon thing we do for 3 months.
You bring in the best talent, obviously, you've got a better chance of gelling together and turning yourself into a championship caliber team. Baltimore has that. One that has stayed healthy, one that has dispatched everyone that they've faced. Remember, I gave you this stat earlier in the in the week in the run up here. 9 times this season, the Baltimore Ravens have beaten a team with a winning record by 14 or more points. And I will not be shocked if they do it again on Sunday.
I will be a little shocked if they do it on Sunday. Now, you know where I won't be shocked if they do it? In the Super Bowl.
Well, you've been calling that since week 4. So there's that. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. What else could turn these games on their head? We'll continue next.
Get the appliances you need right away at Lowe's. Explore the largest assortment of brands you trust in-store or online at the best values. Plus, take advantage of their everyday financing offers. Lowe's knows home improvement, subject to credit approval.
Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry is hosting a Fall in Love with Your Smile Invisalign scan event on Wednesday, February 14th. You're going to get a free simulated 3D scan to show how your teeth could look after an Invisalign treatment. This event is going to be so fun with giveaways that include discounts, local gift cards, and one lucky person can even win half off treatment. Attendees are going to get the best price on Invisalign in North Carolina. Visit AshevilleSmiles.com today to reserve your spot at the Fall in Love with Your Smile event.
God, I'm so stressed. It's a brand new year and our business is busier than ever.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Get the appliances you need right away at Lowe's. Explore the largest assortment of brands you trust, like Whirlpool, Samsung, and LG, in-store or online at the best values. Plus, take advantage of our everyday financing offers on top items, from refrigerators to laundry pairs. And there's more. Get your new appliances delivered or installed quickly at your convenience. Because Lowe's knows appliances, Lowe's knows home improvement. Subject to credit approval.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville Championship Weekend in the NFL. Kansas City Chiefs, Baltimore Ravens. It's a 4-point line?
Yes. You can get as low as 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
In certain places, depending on where you make your wagers, which will be legal in this here state real soon.
March 11th, in fact, will be the day that noon on March 11th is when you can start making legal wagers on mobile apps.
And if you like gambling on things, I'm going to be your Huckleberry on March 11th.
Kansas City Chiefs, Baltimore Ravens, 3 o'clock on Sunday. We will have a live stream watch-along party. We will not obviously be able to show any of the game on the stream. That's not allowed by rules, but we can react in real time.
Apparently you can do it with college games, though, which I did not know about.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Just can't monetize it. That was news to me. Apparently colleges do not enforce any of those things because their television deals are different. The NFL, on the other hand, it will stay up for 14 seconds.
Yes. So live reactions, live streamed, while we all watch at home together. 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. Kansas City Chiefs, Baltimore Ravens.
And the way we do that is that we will give you a point we are at in the stream, and you can sync your television up with us. It's how we usually do those things. Works out nicely. A lot of people have asked us to do it, and this just so happened to work out before I head out of town.
A number one on my list, if I am the Baltimore Ravens, is stopping Travis Kelce. I know Rashee Rice has been coming along, and he is a threat. I'm not trying to say that, but I feel like if I can neutralize Travis Kelce, then my ticket to the Super Bowl is almost locked in.
I'm more worried about Rashee Rice than I am about Travis Kelce.
Because they have less of an answer?
Yes. I'll be honest with you, I'm more worried about Isaiah Pacheco than I am about Travis Kelce. I'm to the point with Kelce, just watching him over the last handful of weeks, you don't scare me nearly as much as you used to. And I know you're still talented. I still think you're the best tight end in the league. I don't know what's going on with him. I got an idea. But he just doesn't look as athletic as he used to. I feel like I can get Kyle Hamilton up into his body. I could body him with Roquan Smith. And yeah, you'll get yours. 6 for 67 yards and a touchdown. I'm not really worried you're going to do much more than that to me.
He's starting to remind me of post-first neck injury Gronk. Like, I remember how slow like Gronk looked when he first came back from that injury. Now, he was able to regain some of that, but it was a great window into what this guy was going to look like years down the road when he would join the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Because that wasn't anywhere near the Gronk that we were all used to. He was very slow and lumbering by that point. But this looks like early slowdown Gronk to me for Travis Kelce.
I think Rashee Rice is just that's really an X factor because you got two corners on the outside that they've had some struggles this year, especially Marlon Humphrey. He has not been as good as I'm used to. Hasn't cost you much because, good Lord, that defense is good. Somebody said earlier that this team analytically was, I think it was Andrew Ayers, said they were as good as the Ray Super Bowl team. You watch the film, and that's not true, but it's not far off either. That Ray Lewis Super Bowl team would hurt your feelings. I mean, they were the big bad bully on the block that it didn't really matter what you said. It didn't matter what you thought. I'm going to come in here and make you cry. This one doesn't necessarily do that. They're very good complementary to the offense because the offense can score points at a rate that Trent Dilfer, Jamal Lewis team could not. You want to shoot out? I can shoot out with you. And the problem is that your defense is going to have a much tougher time stopping my offense than my defense has stopping yours. That's why I'm so in on Baltimore, is that I can't find the way this game goes short of a random monsoon happens. And then even then, that neutralizes Pat Mahomes. No matter how this game goes, it benefits Baltimore.
It's hard to find any advantage other than experience.
Glad you said that because it's exactly where I was headed. Unless this is a tie ball game with 5 minutes to go, and you've got Lamar Jackson, and I've got a guy that's done this 500,000 times. Everybody always talks about Kansas City never blows anybody out. You know what that means? It means they're really accustomed to playing in games that are in doubt with 2 minutes to go.
How many do you want to have any time left on the clock with the game in reach? Giving the ball to Patrick Mahomes?
It's so funny. I hear people say that with Mahomes you left him too much time and there's 26 seconds on the clock. And it gives me oh, Lord, that's Tom Brady.
I mean, he did it once. Right? So he can hurt you. And yes, it's Tom Brady all over again.
I thought the nightmare was over. No.
Nope. The NFL just rewrote.
The nightmare just now has a much more annoying wife and talks like Kermit the Frog.
Right. They rewrote the script. The sequel seems awful a lot like the first one. Kansas City Chiefs would just scratched out the name New England Patriots and put Kansas City in here. That's how dominant they've been.
Yeah, the only thing for me is that the AFC is so much better. To me, what Kansas City has been able to do here is markedly more impressive than it was out of New England. in any little 6-year window like that. I mean, do you agree with that?
I don't know that I agree with that. Because even New England had to fight through
what? They had to fight through what?
They had to fight through the
Peyton
playoffs.
Manning. They had to fight through Peyton Manning.
And Ben Roethlisberger. And the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah. And
they won, 3 Super Bowls during that stretch? Or 2 Super Bowls, whatever.
They won 1. They won 1 long before Tom Brady appeared. They won the one the year he was hurt. I think that's why I pushed that out of my head.
Maybe.
The year he got hurt, I think Pittsburgh, that's why I pushed that out of my head, because they beat Arizona and they beat Seattle?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't put, to me, Ben Roethlisberger and Eli Manning are the same guy. Oh, yes, you won 2 Super Bowls. And other than that, you were never really a threat to squat. Hey, we get to the playoffs and lose to Tom Brady or lose to Peyton Manning or lose to the Jets or lose to whoever it is.
Mm-hmm.
The AFC was not nearly as good then as it is now.
It wasn't as deep. I will give you that. It was pretty good when we had Brady and Manning going at it and throw in the occasional Roethlisberger there. The path was pretty clear, but New England was pretty dominant. But this is a tougher AFC. And it is
and it's getting tougher every
surprise.
year.
It is a surprise to me that Kansas City is where they are. I trust in Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. But I didn't think they were going to be here 4 weeks ago.
I didn't either.
I thought we were on the decline of, well, they'll still make the playoffs. They'll still win this division because everybody else in it sucks. That was a correlation to the New England path. They'll get into the playoffs because everybody else in their division can't win their way out of a wet paper bag. But the fact that they're here in their 6th straight AFC Championship game and a chance to go to another Super Bowl, win back-to-backs for the first time since those Patriots dynasty teams, was that 03-04?
Mm-hmm.
Patriots were the last ones to go back-to-back. They can do it this year. Or Baltimore Ravens or Chiefs standing in their way. You're in the Sportsocracy. And this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
It's been an unsettled week. The clouds will stick around this afternoon, but no unsettling weather. Just very mild. I'll take it for January 26th. 68. Tonight, clouds, fog, 52. The next change Saturday with some scattered showers developing. Thunderstorms are also possible in the afternoon, high 60 and breezy. Saturday night to Sunday, showers, thunderstorms. They should end as showers Sunday morning, then gusty winds in the afternoon, bringing in the drier, cooler air, 48. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Get the appliances you need right away at Lowe's. Explore the largest assortment of brands you trust in-store or online at the best values. Plus, take advantage of their everyday financing offers. Lowe's knows home improvement, subject to credit approval.
I'm starting the new year by making my home feel like new with the advanced cleaning of Zero Res. Take advantage of their New Year's sale. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $119. And when you mention ESPN Asheville, you'll get a hallway clean for free. Schedule online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-374-2103. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. today. Call 800-374-2103 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-374-2103. 800-374-2103. 800-374-2103.
Did you know that Ingles sells more organics than any other store? Or that they run their own dairy? Or that they only serve USDA choice and prime meat? Did you know that they have more local craft beer than any place else? Or that they have Energy Smart stores? Or that they professionally slice and package imported cheese from Europe? Did you know about their giant international aisle, local farm partnerships, curbside pickup, wine department? Or that they donate 3,956 meals a day to local food banks? Well, now you do. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com, your one-stop custom apparel shops.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Jeremy, when you think tall buildings, what's the first city you think of?
Seattle.
Okay, that's a good one. Seattle. All right. I would have gone New York City there, but
also a good one.
New York, Chicago.
Chicago was the other one I was thinking
of. Boston is the one that I've seen the tallest buildings in. I think the Prudential Building is probably the tallest one I've ever seen with my own two eyes. I don't think Oklahoma City, though, when I think tall buildings. And there's a developer in Oklahoma City that has now changed their plans for a new skyscraper there that is going to make it the largest structure in America. It will surpass One Trade Center in New York City at 1,907 feet. Super tall tower. In the middle of Oklahoma City, the rendering, the artist rendering of this building, it dwarfs everything within 7 states of it. It is going to feature a rooftop bar, though. So, Jeremy, would you do it? Would you make a trek to Oklahoma City just to say you've been to the top of the tallest skyscraper?
Pass.
Not even for an Oklahoma City Thunder game?
Harder pass.
It's one of the best teams in the NBA. Come on.
You're right. And if they decide to play a game in my backyard, I'll see them in person. And until then, I will not.
It would be the only thing that could possibly get me to Oklahoma City. I at least drive by it on I-40. I'll be able to see it from, Louisiana.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll pass. Tank, I'm going to ask you a question, and it really just – it will tell me how well you know me. A lot of things make me angry. What makes me the angriest? If you had to choose one thing that I hated more than anything else on the planet, what is it?
Baker Mayfield.
That's not a bad guess, but you're wrong. GoFundMe drives me absolutely bananas.
Okay.
Not when it's somebody that actually needs to use it, when it's somebody that just wants you to pay for their crap. And I now have the poster child. I'm going to read the post, and then I'll tell you who posted it. My son's baseball team is raising money for their Cooperstown trip. Any amount would be so greatly appreciated. You can read more about the team and make a donation here. Want to take a stab at who wrote that?
Coach.
No, it's a famous person.
Oh, it's a famous person. LeBron James.
Nope. Not nearly that stupid, but pretty close. It was Alyssa Milano. Yeah, Alyssa Milano and her talent agent husband, David Bugliari, they have a son that needs $10,000 to go to Cooperstown with his whole baseball team. Oh, teacher. You have $10,000. You know that, right? Like, I don't know if I know your finances better than you do, but the fact that you would have the audacity to look at people on Twitter and go, we started a GoFundMe, so our... Really? Do me a favor. Go to your purse. Probably Louis Vuitton purse if I had a wager. Get out a check and write it and then get off Twitter, you self-entitled...
It's not a good look.
I am dumbfounded that people have actually donated to this. I hate GoFundMe more than anything on this planet because... First of all, trips like this, at least when I was a kid, you would have fundraisers. A fundraiser I'm fine with. I have no problem with it. Even out of the words, no word that I want to call her right now is legally acceptable. Because they're all a little mean, and they all have a dirty word in it. It would teach the kids some civic responsibility. You have a car wash or whatever the case may be. Do I need an 8-year-old to wash my car? No, I don't. But it teaches the kid, hey, I want something, I got to work for it. Instead, in this era, we've gone, I have 8 million followers on X. I'll ask them to donate $5 so you can sit on your lazy keister like I do. Ugh. You may be pretty, but man, you irritate the sin out of me. Just everything you do makes me angry.
Yeah. Well, and in a life where we all have other things to do, sometimes we don't have time for kids' fundraisers. Here's the thing, though.
Yeah, Alyssa Milano, what are you really doing right now that you don't have time for a kids' fundraiser? Get that show picked up, did you?
I just feel like if you know, or if others know that you are a wealthy person, you probably shouldn't be asking other people for their money. That kind of makes you...
It's such a horrifically bad look.
Oh, wait. Never mind. I just remembered why. You want to look up her politics and see, see where that goes?
Trust me, I'm well aware.
Wow. Hey, you know that whole fair share thing you keep talking about, Alyssa?
Yeah.
I think this is your calling.
Yeah, you want to know the problem with socialism? You run out of other people's money. Yeah, you run out of other people's money to spend eventually. How about you write a check yourself?
It's just it's one of those things that it's just so tone deaf that you have to laugh about it.
100%. And anybody that has contributed to that, hey, you like your money way less than I do.
NFC Championship Game. That's the evening game, the primetime game for this Sunday. 6:30 start in San Francisco. 49ers against the Detroit Lions. What's your first key to the game, Jeremy?
Oh, the most obvious one, and it's so obvious that it's the one banned from our daily draft later in this here program. It's Brock Purdy. If you do against the Detroit Lions what you did last week, you won't just get beat, you will get smoked because they can smoke you. Brock Purdy was terrible in the first half and the third quarter against Green Bay. But he was Joe Montana-like in the last drive. Why were you even in that situation? Because if you're wanting to point that finger only really points at you. And everybody tells me how great this defense is until I watch it and go, I don't ever see great. Did you see great against Green Bay?
No.
And neither did I.
They had a bad game. The defense had a bad game. And you don't normally see teams be able to run the ball like that against them.
I don't disagree with that.
And
I really don't.
And I feel like they're going to have a hard time with Jameer. this weekend.
You do realize that other than Washington, San Francisco's given up 20-plus points in every game they played in the last 6 weeks. That's not an elite defense. And please, for the love of God, stop telling me it is, because it's not. It's good, and it has talent. I have a weird feeling you're about to see exactly what I have said on two sides of this team. One, Brock Purdy ain't nearly as good as you keep telling me he is. He's fine, and he works in the system, and I don't think Kyle Shanahan needs an elite quarterback. I don't think he needs Tom Brady or Pat Mahomes, because the system is the straw that stirs the drink. And defensively, Steve Wilks is a way bigger problem than you want to let on. Because the difference between DeMeco Ryans and Steve Wilks is vast. I don't think you have an adjustment. And I have a weird and this is not just because, Ben's well known around this area, Ben's well known around this building. I have a way, way deeper belief in Ben Johnson than I do in Steve Wilks. And I just got a weird feeling. This is one of those times that I'm looking at a Detroit team that has nothing to lose. You get beat here, you were supposed to. Oh, San Francisco's the 1 seed. They were supposed to be this. So I can pull out every trick short of the kitchen sink to throw at you. And I think Steve Wilks is going to burn you. I think he's going to burn you. Because the defense has regressed all season long. To the point of now, it's middle of the road at best. You got high-end players, that ain't a high-end defense.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're coming up against one of the best receivers in the league, one of the best running backs in the league, one of the best tight ends in the league. That's a tall ask. And I just keep looking at this number going, that's dumb.
What is the number? I haven't even looked.
It was 7 as of right before we started the show.
7.5 according to the screen I'm looking
Which
at.
means it's this is something that Sharps use. Sharps bet 2 times, right before kickoff, right after the number debuts. You know why? Because it starts to swell like this when the public gets a hold of it. I was on Detroit to begin with. I'm certainly on Detroit now. And I'll be on Detroit at kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
Can't tell you they win, because I don't know. You've never been in a situation like this. You played 2 playoff games together ever. Even the core of this team, you've played 2 playoff games together ever. This is a team that hasn't been this far since, 1991?
Mm-hmm.
Haven't won this spot in ever. Never been to a Super Bowl. You're going back to the World Championship of Football days. That's the part that scares me, to where I can't say, yeah, I feel really good Detroit's going to win. I feel really good this game's going to be close. I feel really good that you're going to see some things from Detroit that you've probably never seen before. I would say there will be some tricks come out of this bag that were so deep in that bag that they probably never thought they'd see it.
Is there an advantage for Detroit on the defensive side of the ball? Because I can't see one.
What do you mean, a advantage on the defensive side of the ball?
Where can they take advantage of Kansas or of San Francisco? Is Aiden Hutchinson, is he going to be able to get home like he has been?
I believe so, yes.
Against Trent Williams?
Well, Aiden lines up on the right side.
Oh,
he ain't going against Trent Williams.
Okay.
Unless Trent decides he wants to play on the right side for some odd reason.
Maybe, okay. So who's he going against?
Oh, if you hadn't asked me that, I could have told you. Prepped it and everything. Moved away from the page and forgot.
Moved it.
It's the kid that went to the same damn school that Colton McKivitz.
Colt McKivitz.
God, that was about to drive me nuts.
Is he going to get killed?
Killed? No, because I think he'll get help from Kittle.
Mm-hmm.
The line is a bigger problem than people think. Has been all year long. Outside of Trent Williams, I can't really tell you that I greatly believe in any of these guys. I mean, the only other one that's rated even in a mediocre way is John Feliciano. I think the line's going to be a problem. I do think Detroit will be able to get home. The question is, can anybody in the back half hold up?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part that I don't know the answer to. I don't know who's going to defend one-on-one Brandon Ayuk. I know who you're going to ask. And I'm afraid it's going to go exactly how it went last week with Mike Evans, who I wasn't sure even wanted to catch a football for 2 quarters, and he still really hurt Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the slot, I mean, Chris Godwin wasn't a huge story, but, man, it seemed like they were going to him on 3rd down a lot. That part bothers me. What I'm curious of is, are you going to see that, and you know I hate this phrase, that bend don't break defense from Detroit of we're just not going to let you beat us over the top, no chunk plays, no big scoring plays, no specials that go 40 or more, and that's how we're going to beat you. We're going to make you settle for field goals, come up with a couple empty possessions, force Brock Purdy into one bad throw, a fumble, a something, and that's how we beat you. Can they do that? They can. I'm not sure they will.
Mm-hmm. I just don't see an advantage there. Aiden Hutchinson is great, and sure, he may be able to get some pressures, but in the last
Hoffman also has a really
4
good play.
weeks.
Hold on. Hoffman has a really good point to what I said about Aiden Hutchinson.
Mm-hmm.
He plays over the guard some, too, which is also a place that San Francisco is really vulnerable.
Well,
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I was
That
going to say
was just a
that
good
puts
point.
him against what, Jake Brindle?
Brindle's the center. The guard is Aaron Banks. Whew. You want to talk about John Lynch's draft record? Aaron Banks is a real good one to start with.
Previous 4 weeks, Aiden Hutchinson had 31 pressures.
Mm-hmm. He's going to do it again.
He had multiple sacks in 3 straight games leading up to the game against Tampa. He only got 1 sack in that one, so he can break the record or match the record or whatever it is. I just don't know that he's going to be able to do it as readily against this offensive line, and that's the only advantage that you would have because your secondary is not good enough. Okay. I don't think.
Can you answer me a question? Because you're about the 5th person I've heard say exactly what you're saying here.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly is about this offensive line that you think is so good? What is so daunting about this that I'm missing completely? Because I keep hearing this that Detroit's not going to get home. You get that this is a middle of the NFL at best offensive line.
Is it?
100% it is. This is a team, and I'm going to wager what you're getting ready to say is, well, Brock Purdy was only sacked 28 times. The fact he was sacked 28 times in this offense kind of proves my point. You're ahead all the time, and you get the ball out quick. That's a bad sign. That's a bad sign in good times. This is an offense that's predicated on not getting behind the chains and not getting sacked.
Mm-hmm.
And Purdy still got sacked. I don't think it's an impediment at all. I'm more scared of to be honest with you, I'm more scared of the receivers because I feel like I am going to have to help them, which keeps that safety out of the box, which scares me. I'm exponentially more worried about Christian McCaffrey than I am about Brock Purdy. You want to sit back there and drop him back? I'll go 35 times. Brock Purdy this is a game where I feel like I could see his stat line, and I'll tell you who wins. He drops back and throws 35 times, San Francisco lost. I'll bet you anything you want. What scares me is that he throws 28 times, and Christian McCaffrey runs it 22 times and has 125 yards. But the Lions are really good against the run. I get that. Christian McCaffrey's a whole different animal because you get him out in space, and now you've taken it away from the Aiden Hutchinsons and the front, and now it's on to the linebackers and the secondary, which is the problem of this team.
Mm-hmm. I hadn't gotten there yet, but yeah, that was going to be the next portion of that was your back half's not good enough to stop the weapons, I don't think. And what are you going to do with Christian McCaffrey? He's going to get his, as he always does. Question is, can you keep him from being special? And I don't know that you can.
Well, the question is,
remember, this is his bite at the apple, too.
Well, the question is, can you keep him out of space? Because if they think that they're just going to run between the tackles, no fear. What scares me is getting him out on the screen, getting him out on these toss sweeps, where it becomes, now I'm taking my mediocre line that is a good zone blocking line that is now doing that. if you want to sit back and throw it, I'll do that all day long, and Aiden Hutchinson's going to eat your lunchbox. And you're putting it in Purdy's hands, and I'm not so sure he can win one of these games. I've heard more people than you could shake a stick at say, well, if he hadn't got hurt last year, they'd have beaten the Eagles. Okay. I don't agree with you, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's what scares me. You get Aaron Banks downhill. You get him in space where he is – all I'm trying to do is zone block off a lane for McCaffrey, and now I'm getting into two smaller safeties that are not necessarily equipped for this. And that's where I think the chunk plays could come in. Ayuk, he's going to get his because you don't have anybody to stop him. I mean, if their goal is to go – I mean, and you watched every down of Bucks Lions. How many times did they line up one-on-one with Mike Evans? How many times did they line up one-on-one in the slot with Chris Godwin? If you try to do that here, you will get killed.
Mm-hmm.
Killed.
I just don't feel like you have the personnel. But the thing that brings it all together is the momentum. I'm a narrative guy. I'm a big believer in that team chemistry thing. You have a good team here. Mm-hmm. And with that extra push, with that leadership from Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, and you can do extraordinary things. And I think that's what it's going to take to beat San Francisco in their own building in the NFC Championship game. Because they've heard the same things all week long that we've all been saying, or that the media has all been saying. Of San Francisco, we're not sure. Are they as good as everybody says they are? Is this going to be the next time where they'd fall on their faces in the playoffs? The motivation is going to be super high for everybody involved this weekend, obviously. Sometimes it comes down to who it matters more for.
All right, answer that question. Who does it matter more for? Because I have to me, that's a no doubter.
San Francisco.
I disagree with you.
Really?
It's Detroit. It's Detroit. It's not even close to me. Ben Johnson walks away. How do I know this offense doesn't fall apart?
Mm-hmm.
Because it easily could. Yeah, they've been special for 2 years. What were they before that? Oh. Oops. I'm just saying. Okay. Look, and you can say I'm a homer for Ben Johnson. You can say whatever you want to. There's going to be a change when he leaves.
Yes.
Because how many times have you watched Detroit Lion football this year and just gone, my God, that was the perfect call? It's almost like he was in the defensive huddle and knew exactly what they were getting ready to do.
Mm-hmm.
He had a screen pass. I can't remember what it was. I think it was one of the playoff games. He had a screen pass that I looked at Amy and said, short of knowing exactly what they were getting ready to bring, you'd have to be the luckiest person on the planet Earth. Because he is that dedicated to tendencies and things like that. Mm-hmm. Notorious B.I.G. said, this is Detroit's window. This is the window.
That's it. You got 1 year, and that's it. See, that's why I look at San Francisco and I go, yeah, you got a window. It's been open for 3 years. You don't walk through it now, it's not getting easier. That's why I think it matters more to them.
Yeah, and my argument would be what changes this year to next with San Francisco? Brock Purdy get more expensive? No. Christian McCaffrey get more expensive? No.
Mm-hmm.
Deebo Samuel get more expensive? Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle? No. You can lather up and do the exact same thing again because you've already survived what Detroit's getting ready to have to go through. You've already lost Robert Saleh and D'Amico Ryans and Mike McDaniel and Mike LaFleur. You already lost all those guys. There's nobody left. Ain't nobody pilfering Steve Wilkes. You can interview him as many times as you want to. Nobody's hiring him. So, to me, San Francisco can just lather up and do this again next year. Now, after next year, that's when you start seeing oh my God, you have 7 starters that are free agents after next season. Detroit, there's a possibility that this nucleus never gets back here. I don't really see that as a possibility for San Francisco.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We'll take a break. When we come back for the top of the hour, it'll be time to do crimes And then the daily draft after.
Slightly different, little different schedule today.
Shaking up just a little bit. So we will give you the most important message of the day coming up at the top of the hour.
You can make the decision right now to get lasting relief from that awful joint pain for 2024. Don't go another year compromising because of that pain in your knees or shoulder. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative non-surgical pain relief. Your body has what it needs to restore and repair that damaged joint tissue, and QC Kinetics can make it happen. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. The future of pain treatments has arrived, and QC has tens of thousands of satisfied patients all over America. People with back pain, hip pain, any pain associated with arthritis or an injury. This is not a Band-Aid. This is a revolutionary treatment that can get you moving again. Get your life back. And listen, it's non-surgical. If this is the year you decide to fight back against the pain, take the first step now. Call QC Kinetics. Get a free consultation on the calendar today. Call 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
I'm Dwayne Wade, and I've been blessed to have so many titles so far in my life. But now I'm adding podcast hosts with my new podcast called The Why with Dwayne Wade. On this show, I will have intimate conversations with some of the biggest names in sports, in music, in entertainment, in fashion, and we will discuss the whys in their lives. Listen to The Why with Dwayne Wade on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you can get your podcasts.
Win $1,000 in inflation compensation.
I just won $1,000.
And kick your new year into high gear.
What? No way. Thank you. I try every day. That's great.
Happening now.
Brought to you by PSG. PSG Traffic Services exists to save lives by providing safe work zones and to provide all your traffic needs. PSG is hiring team members. Excellent pay and benefits. Call 910-821-1720 or visit psgtrafficservices.com.
At Ingles, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Not only does it ensure that you get top quality fresh items for your family table, it's a way for us to support the amazing individuals who pour their heart and soul into delivering the very best they can do. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP,
The Beast Unleashed.
with 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan. The Beast Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed available at your local retailer.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
It's been an unsettled week. The clouds will stick around this afternoon, but no unsettling weather. Just very mild. I'll take it for January 26th. 68. Tonight, clouds, fog, 52. The next change Saturday with some scattered showers developing. Thunderstorms are also possible in the afternoon, high 60 and breezy. Saturday night to Sunday, showers, thunderstorms. They should end as showers Sunday morning, then gusty winds in the afternoon, bringing in the drier, cooler air, 48. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you right now. Like Alt 2K, a commercial-free look back to alternative from the 2000s. Just search Alt 2K and listen now on your free iHeartRadio app. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
To some, a baby's babbling doesn't mean much, but it does. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
This is Carolina basketball.
2-on-1. Baycott finishes the transition hammer. R.J. Davis, he's going to try a quick three. Yes, from the right sideline.
On the Tar Heels Sports Network.
Ends up to Baycott, and he gets the run out. Two-handed flush. Carolina, it's Davis. He's fouled, and give him it.
This is your radio home for the Tar Heels.
Asheville's home for the Tar Heels is ESPN Asheville.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bonus. That's bonus. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We are coming to you live, as always, from the Ingalls studio. And it is championship week in the NFL, which means it's 1 week to the Senior Bowl, which means Jeremy will not be here next week.
Correct.
He'll be touching in with us, though. That sounded weird. I shouldn't have said it that way. He'll be touching base with us. How about that? Checking in, maybe, from Mobile, Alabama. Reports daily from the Senior Bowl from Mobile as all of the Draftmas season gears up. It's the kickoff to the greatest Draftmas season ever. Mainly because, well, it's your first opportunity, Jeremy.
It's the third year in a row I've been invited. It's the first year I've been able to go. Taking Mullet Senior down to the Senior Bowl. It's very exciting.
Yes.
So it's very exciting.
Yes. You want to check us out on the YouTubes, go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can get alerts whenever Jeremy's going to go live or throw out some content from the Senior Bowl. Player interviews, whatever he's got cooked up. It's going to be a lot going on down at the Senior Bowl. He'll be hobnobbing. He'll be rubbing elbows, shaking hands, and kissing babies.
Correct.
All of the things. And for those of you who are interested, Sunday we'll be doing a live stream of the AFC Championship Game. Live reactions on the YouTube stream. And we'll be doing it from our respective houses so we can test all of the equipment before you go to Mobile. Let's see how that works. We're playing this out perfectly.
Bingo.
So stay tuned with us here in the Sportsocracy for all of your Draftmas season coverage. Now we're going to switch things up a little bit. We're going to start off this third hour. We'll do the daily draft coming up after the next break. But we'll start this with most important message of the day. Which Jeremy Green is?
Don't do crimes.
Yes, indeed. Have you been following this story of the 3 Kansas City Chiefs fans that got left outside?
Weird.
So 3 Kansas City Chiefs fans go over to their buddy's house to watch the game last week. Right? It was bitter cold outside, all of the things. They ended up being found 2 days later in the guy's backyard under the snowbanks, frozen to death.
Yes.
This guy disappeared, or he didn't disappear. He was apparently at the house, but he fell asleep for 2 days. Weird story.
It's not weird when you realize why he fell asleep for 2 days.
When the 3 friends went missing, and they didn't return, their families started to try to contact the guy, and he ghosted them. Then somebody goes to the house 2 days later, and that's when the bodies were found out back.
Mm-hmm.
The cops came to the house, and he answers the door in his underwear, just like he had just woken up from a Rip Van Winkle nap for 2 days. It's all very strange.
It is a bizarre story.
If you follow the story, and obviously I can't give it all to you here because it's very in-depth, and it's a he said, she said, and in fact, it's a he said, and then he said again, and then he said again, and the story has changed.
There's a fifth guy that was there that didn't pass away in the snow and did not sleep there.
Right.
So
then the story he tells was that he left around midnight. The 3 friends that were found dead were still at the house. The one guy who's accused, who lived at the house, he had gone to bed. The other 3 were still up watching Jeopardy, I think he said, in the story that I read this morning. So he doesn't know what happened. The guy who lives there, he says he doesn't know what happened. He doesn't know at what point the 3 guys went outside and froze to death.
I heard Michael Bodden, the premier forensic pathologist in the country, he basically said, I can explain this in 3 words. Fentanyl. That's what would do this, is that you go outside. Drunk doesn't do it because eventually you would get cold even if you passed out drunk. You had to have something that would completely shut you down, and fentanyl would do that. So it sounds like they maybe partook in some recreational crimes, and those recreational crimes may have had some fentanyl in them.
Possibly.
Because that would also explain why he slept for 2 days, too.
Right. But however, the 5th guy says there were no drugs being done that he knows of. So they may have been done when he left. He said he didn't know anything about it. Here comes the crimes part of this. Obviously, there's an investigation going on to see whether or not this guy did anything illegal or is responsible for his friends' deaths. But apparently some of the parents of the victims are now coming out and saying that they believe that David Harrington is responsible, and they're throwing out the nebulous, they may have seen something they're not supposed to see. And so their accusation is that he drugged them and then put them outside in the snow, and they died. The investigation's continuing. It's a very weird story. The weirder it gets, of course, we'll bring you updates.
My story is a crime, but the one that got fired is not the one that, in my opinion, committed the crime. Video taken by Felicia Nicole. She is now a former employee of Walmart. This was in Jackson, Mississippi. She took a video of a customer that came in last week. Hey, what was last week? Really, really cold.
Mm-hmm.
She came in with a toddler in only a diaper in 30-degree weather. She puts the toddler in the cart, not in it where most children sit. She puts the child in the actual cart.
The big compartment.
Yes. And then throws a bag of frozen food on the child wearing only a diaper after you just brought him inside in 30-degree weather. Am I the only one that realizes that the crime here is not that you filmed it? It's the fact that this... You get that, right? Like Walmart, you understand you're very much on the wrong side of this. Well, we don't encourage recording customers. Well, you should when they do really stupid things. Because this should be like Department of Social Services. What is it? I don't know what you do exactly. Maybe you should take care of this. I feel like you should be involved in some shape, form, or fashion.
It's bad move.
So bad.
Bad move by Walmart. I don't like it. I understand partially where they're coming at with that. I didn't need that. I didn't need you to do that. As the employee, I'm just looking at it from a manager's standpoint. I didn't need you to do that. We have security cameras that we could have shown somebody. It's not your job to follow this woman around and instigate and to continue to escalate the situation.
Yeah, here's my question. Do you think it was the first time?
Oh, I have no idea.
I'll bet you it wasn't.
Maybe not.
Because if you watch the video, she came in with a serious confidence that she was doing nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me think, you've probably done this before.
Sad. Absolutely sad. And,
Eventually,
and the video of the child is just heartbreaking because she's the person who's the employee who's filming it zooms in on the kid's face and you just see his teeth are just chattering like crazy.
Oh, it's awful.
So sad.
It's awful. This is one time I actually don't blame you for filming another person.
No.
Blast that person because you're just the worst.
Not a chance.
You're awful. You're awful peoples.
Yeah, not a chance in hell I would have come down on that employee.
No, and to me, it's a bad look, which is why I told the story.
No doubt.
The employee did nothing wrong, in my humble opinion.
Yes. You are in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Third hour of the program. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, it'll be daily draft time. The most important persons to the next the next two games of the NFL season leading up to the Super Bowl.
Can't wait weeks for your tax refund? Then don't. At Jackson Hewitt, get money today if you're approved for a no-fee refund advance loan on a prepaid card. Book today at jacksonhewitt.com. No-fee refund advance offered to eligible clients. Application required. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Win $1,000 in inflation compensation.
I just won $1,000.
And kick your new year into high gear.
What? No way. Thank you. I try every day. That's great.
Happening now.
Woo!
Brought to you by PSG. PSG Traffic Services exists to save lives by providing safe work zones and to provide all your traffic needs. PSG is hiring team members. Excellent pay and benefits. Call 910-821-1720 or visit psgtrafficservices.com.
You can make the decision right now to get lasting relief from that awful joint pain for 2024. Don't go another year compromising because of that pain in your knees or shoulder. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative non-surgical pain relief. Your body has what it needs to restore and repair that damaged joint tissue, and QC Kinetics can make it happen. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. The future of pain treatments has arrived, and QC has tens of thousands of satisfied patients all over America. People with back pain, hip pain, any pain associated with arthritis or an injury. This is not a Band-Aid. This is a revolutionary treatment that can get you moving again. Get your life back. And listen, it's non-surgical. If this is the year you decide to fight back against the pain, take the first step now. Call QC Kinetics. Get a free consultation on the calendar today. Call 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like Alt 2K.
Don't want to be an American idiot.
A commercial-free look back to alternative from the 2000s. With Foo Fighters, Weezer, Linkin Park, Green Day, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and more. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Alt 2K, and listen now. Try something new for 2024. iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio.
Free never sounded so good.
Did you know that Ingles sells more organics than any other store? Or that they run their own dairy? Or that they only serve USDA choice and prime meat? Did you know that they have more local craft beer than any place else? Or that they have energy smart stores? Or that they professionally slice and package imported cheese from Europe? Did you know about their giant international aisle, local farm partnerships, curbside pickup, wine department? Or that they donate 3,956 meals a day to local food banks? Well, now you do. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan. The Beast Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
Back in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. It's time for the daily draft. Most important persons in the next couple of weeks.
Yes. Who are the people, position groups, coaches, quarterbacks are included in this, that will decide the champion in the NFL.
Yes.
Who's going to win this here Super Bowl and these two games this weekend?
Conference championship games and the Super Bowl. Who's got the most on the line? Who needs to step up the most? Number one pick?
Goes to you.
Goes to me. All right. My number one is Patrick Mahomes.
Not in my top 8.
That's ridiculous.
It's not in my top 8.
The only thing that has, I don't want to throw shade at Andy Reid here, none intended. But Patrick Mahomes is the thing that has gotten the Kansas City Chiefs this far.
I don't disagree with the words you just said.
Have been doing everything they can to piss him off at every stage of the season, dropping passes. It has to be on his back, and he has to step up to the moment.
I don't disagree with the words you just said. I don't disagree with your scientific process. I don't disagree with your hypothesis. I just really disagree with the conclusion you came to. And here's why. What do you think you're going to get out of Patrick Mahomes? His range of outcomes vary by what, 3%? Do you see a path that he comes out and puts out a big grumper?
Could be.
I don't.
Really?
Because weird, I've never seen him do it.
Nah.
In a
I
big
saw him
game,
do it in a Super Bowl.
And okay, perfect example. Why was that? Was that on Pat Mahomes or the fact that his offensive line couldn't have blocked me?
Oh, he got killed. And there's no doubt about it. He was under duress, but he was not good himself.
He wasn't good because he got hit, what was it, 19 times?
Oh, it was brutal.
That's on the line, not him. Some of the sacks he took in that Super Bowl happened within 2 seconds.
Yes.
There's nothing you can do about that.
I get it.
If I can't get to the hitch and the drop, you're dead in the water anyway. I have 3 different Chiefs in my top 8. Pat Mahomes wasn't one of them.
Wow.
Because I know exactly what I'm going to get out of him. My curiosity, what will determine whether the Chiefs bow out on Sunday or if they hoist another Lombardi is other players on that team.
Not Patrick Mahomes.
No, because I know exactly what he's going to do.
Okay.
I know he's going to be the best quarterback in the NFL because that's what he is.
And maybe here's why I took him number one, because I think he's got to be better than his best to get it done, because I think that he has been, in certain ways, better than his best that we've seen to be able to overcome the obstacles that he's faced this year.
Like I said, I don't disagree with you that Pat Mahomes has to be spectacular. I just know he's going to be.
Okay.
My question is, and that's funny you said that way, because my number one pick is pass catchers for the Kansas City Chiefs. Because if somebody doesn't step up outside of Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce, you're dead in the water. Dead. No shot. I'm looking at Marquez Valdez-Scantling specifically because he's the over-the-top threat. He's the one that I'm really counting on. You've been here before, you've played in playoff games, I need you to step up and be the veteran. I can't count on Sky Moore or
Justin Watson.
Justin Watson I can count on for a play. I just don't think he's that good, so it's hard for me to count on him to do more than is within him. I need somebody to make a handful of game-breaker plays in the next 2 games. This one and then the Super Bowl if you get there. And to me, there's no doubt. Pat Mahomes could be, and this is why I disagree with you taking him first, Pat Mahomes could be special. 110% of what we've ever seen Pat Mahomes be. And if the other guys around him don't step up, it doesn't matter because they're going to lose.
Okay. Not a bad selection. I got no qualms with that. I considered the pass catchers, but there's the thing. They've been letting me down. Patrick has to be special.
My next one, this was tough because now I have to play the game of who are you going to take, not necessarily who do I think is the most important. I'm going to go secondary of the Detroit Lions because that is more of a blanket to me than taking Brock Purdy or taking Jared Goff. Because how does this game swing? All right, 2-53, I have no doubt that San Francisco has a better roster than Detroit. I think it's much closer than people think, especially when you get past 10. 11-53, I'll say it's Detroit, and I'll say it's not even close. But you got more higher-end stars. You got more George Kittles, more Brandon Ayuk's, more Deebo Samuels, more Christian McCaffreys, edge guys, Fred Warner. There's a lot of those. It gets thin in a hurry. I don't know if Deebo Samuel's going to play or not. I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to believe anything that comes out of San Francisco until the inactives come out. Oh, but he practiced yesterday. Woo. So did some 12-year-old with his clarinet. It means about as much to me as that Deebo Samuel practiced yesterday.
Mark Andrews practiced last week for Baltimore and missed the game.
This
doesn't mean anything.
From what I've been told, this is going to be a pain management thing with Deebo. And if you take him away, and now it's not, I have to adjust to pre-snap motion. I have to adjust to all of the things where Kyle Shanahan can play the offensive chess with Aaron Glenn, because I think that's the biggest advantage the 49ers have.
Mm-hmm.
Is that chess match is Aaron Glenn against Kyle Shanahan. Advantage San Francisco. You take that away. Now it becomes, can the secondary, can C.J. Gardner-Johnson, can Sutton, can Brian Branch, can any of these guys make the backbreaker play on Brock Purdy? Because I feel very sure he's going to give you the chance.
Mm-hmm.
What I saw 3 quarters against Green Bay, he was damn terrible. Terrible.
Brock Purdy is a guy that he's going to give you the chance.
No doubt. Can you make him pay for it?
Mm-hmm.
That was the biggest difference between what I saw against Cleveland, what I saw against Minnesota, what I saw against, and then how he looked against the Dallas Cowboys. He gave Dallas chances. They didn't take it.
Mm-hmm.
They did nothing with it.
I think back to that Baltimore game.
Baltimore
was terrible. He threw 4 interceptions, could have thrown 6. Some of them were a little fluky, but there again, you made a bad pass that went in through a lane and somebody tipped it up and they came up with the ball. He does that every game. There are 3 or 4 plays every game where you look at and go, oh, that safety wasn't looking on that one, or the corner didn't read that one properly because you could have jumped that route. I know every quarterback does that, but Brock will give you the opportunity.
No doubt. No doubt. So that's the reason I didn't take any of the quarterbacks. I think that is what swings these 2 games specifically.
Okay.
Is does Pat Mahomes have somebody that steps up? Because I'm not sure Lamar needs anybody to step up. I think Lamar could come out, just have a special Lamar Jackson game, and Baltimore's so good, you can chuck out a B game, and I still think you're going to the Super Bowl.
Well, I'm really glad you said that, because Lamar is such a threat that there is one guy that I look to and go, you're going to have to be on your game.
Chris Jones.
It's not Chris Jones. Wow. He's a part of the defense, but it's Steve Spagnuolo that I keep looking at, and I go, you know what? You've come up with scheme after scheme and sending the hellhounds at the right times, and with all of the pieces that you have at your disposal, you're able to hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see you do that against the best offense that I've seen this season. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens aren't messing around. They are out to hurt feelings. They are out to prove that every season leading up to this was a fluke. The injury issues that we had, we could have rolled off 3 of these had we not had the injury issues that we had over the last few seasons. And I think all of that builds in that locker room of they're going to come with the game plan. And Steve Spagnuolo better be ready, because it's not just this game. We talked about getting to the Super Bowl. Let's say Steve Spagnuolo is able to come up with the plan that neutralizes Travis Kelce with the safeties, and he's able to get the pressure on Patrick Mahomes or on Lamar Jackson.
I was about to say, Travis Kelce doesn't play for the Mark Andrews.
Excuse me, Mark Andrews is the one I was looking for.
You had me so confused that I was like, did we switch picks here?
Before I kept going, because I might have named every damn chief before I figured out what I was doing there. But he's not only going to have to go up against Kansas City's players, or Baltimore's players. Damn, I did it again. He's also going to have to figure out how to get all of those pieces from San Francisco.
Don't care.
To neutralize them.
Don't care.
And he's going to have to figure out how to battle against the Lions.
Don't care.
You don't care?
Don't care. I'm telling you right now, the Super Bowl is Baltimore, Kansas City. Whoever wins this game, I'm going to take them to absolutely blow the doors off whoever wins in the NFC.
If it's Kansas City, I think
they embarrass them.
Really?
I think Pat Mahomes would annihilate that secondary. Annihilate it. That thing I said about Steve Wilkes and everybody, I love the pot shots that 49er fans take at me. Well, see, Steve Wilkes is here. You've so far beaten Jordan Love. Congratulations. You won, bar none, the worst conference. And now you're coming up against Steve Spagnuolo and Pat Mahomes. Good luck with that. That's why I couldn't go there, but I do respect the pick, and you're right. Spagnuolo encompasses 2 of the 3 things I had on my sheet over here.
Chiefs are at the top of my list because they got the toughest, right? They got the toughest matchup this weekend.
Agreed.
And I think for the first time, we're looking at the Kansas City Chiefs in this game going, I don't expect you to win. Right? We were all kind of shocked when Cincinnati went on and won a couple of years ago. We were just expecting Kansas City's going to roll through and it's all going to be hunky-spunky. And it wasn't. But now Kansas City's coming in as the underdog on the road. It just means a little bit different. So he's going to have to – Spagnuolo's going to have the game plan on top of it to not only win this weekend but also to win next weekend, because I don't think it's just an automatic blowout in the Chiefs scenario. And then I'm going to go with the Lions' offensive line.
Didn't even have that on the list.
Why?
Because they have the best offensive line in football. This is another time I know what I'm going to see. I do have a Lion that I will happily take right after this pick.
You have no doubts that this offensive line will be able to
Who's the pass rusher I'm scared of?
Huh?
Outside of Nick Bosa, who is the pass rusher I'm scared of?
Well, I mean,
Chase Young, who's a name.
You took out the big one.
Yeah.
Nick Bosa should scare you, right?
No. I don't think that San Francisco defense is as good as everybody thinks it is.
Oh, man.
And now you come up against an offensive line that can annihilate you.
Okay. Well, throughout the season, I get playing NFC competition. They were one of the top 5 defenses in the NFL.
How many games you play in an NFL season? He asked, already knowing the answer. 17. 4 of your 17 were against 2 of the 3 worst offensive lines in the league. Yeah, that skews things just a little bit. Hey, how'd it work against Baltimore? That really make you feel warm and fuzzy? That's the only line you've played that's even close. The only one that's even in the ballpark of what you're getting ready to come up against with Detroit. That line is so good that it is pathetic. I could make the argument they have the best right tackle in the league and the best center. The only thing that kind of scares me is missing Jonah Jackson. That part does scare me a little bit, but the other 4 are intact.
Yeah. Well, I get that they're good, but this is another scenario where this is the toughest test you're going to have. Regardless of this weekend, that San Francisco 49ers defensive line is going to be the best that you faced all year. Other than Baltimore's, who you faced at the beginning of the season.
And they killed you.
And you're going to have to face again in the Super Bowl, more than likely. If you don't get the Ravens front, then you're going to get the Kansas City Chiefs front that you have to deal with. And all of them are terrifying.
Who's kind of in the same boat of I'm worried about Chris Jones. I'm not really worried. I would worry more about Kansas City than I do about San Francisco.
If you can't keep the pressure off of Jared Goff, that's going to be a problem because Jared has been known to make the bad decision when he's under pressure.
Oh, it's ironic that you said that way because I have 2 picks coming up back-to-back, and they're both Lions. Jared Goff and the Lions pass catchers not named Sam Laporta and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Okay.
I need somebody to step up, whether it's Josh Reynolds, whether it's Jamison Williams. I don't really care who it is. But if you think that you're going to come into San Francisco against a team that is talented with Laporta, Amon-Ra, and Gibbs, and those 3 are going to do everything, and that's going to lead you to victory, I think that's a bit of a fool's errand. The thing that scares me is Jared Goff. I don't like Jared Goff playing outside. I've said that forever. That's why I thought the Lions were this has been such a perfect fit, is that you play so many games inside a dome, and his splits between the 2 are staggeringly different. Now you're taking me outside. You're taking me outside in the highest pressure environment he's played in outside of a Super Bowl because he doesn't have Sean McVay. He's got Dan Campbell. He's got Ben Johnson, who's got 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot in a banana peel when it comes to being the offensive coordinator of the Lions. The second they get eliminated, he's the Washington Commanders' new head coach. And I'm not saying he's distracted. I'm not saying anybody's distracted. I'm just saying these are a lot of things that are playing against you. I need things to be as copacetic as humanly possible for Jared Goff to get the most out of him. And I feel like there's a lot of variables here. There's a lot of things that each one of them individually wouldn't bother me that much. But then you take the sum of all parts and you just go, man, if this goes sideways, I feel like that's going to be why. If this goes sideways, I don't feel like Brock Purdy's going to come in here and beat the Lions by himself. I don't see the game where I walk away from it and go, that's the game where Brock Purdy won it for him. I could easily see a path where you get bad Jared Goff and you walk away from it and go, damn, what could have been had he not just fallen apart in the most crucial of situations.
Mm-hmm. But even Brock Purdy just having – I mean, he could easily against that secondary throw up 303 tutties.
I don't care about how many yards you throw for. I don't see a path that he's throwing for 3 touchdowns.
You don't think so?
I don't.
Okay.
Because Detroit's going to do that very thing that they've done in their first 2 playoff games, which is between the 20s, you make all the hay you want to. Baker Mayfield threw for 354 yards. Did you ever think Tampa Bay was winning that game? Neither did I. Yards, I just want to go on a little tangent here, and my name's on the door, so I can do that. Stop talking about yards. Like, just take that out of your lexicon. Well, he threw for 400 yards. Yeah, Jameis Winston did it, 17 times? That he threw for over 350 yards when he played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? It might have been 300 yards.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I do not care under any circumstances how many yards you threw for. It is the most meaningless, stupid stat that there is. When it comes to quarterbacks, there are 4 stats that tell you the entire story. You want to take a stab at them?
Completion percentage.
That's one. That was the easy one because I've screamed that one from the mountaintops about every day.
I don't know. Sacks.
That's another one.
QBR.
That's another one.
And I don't know.
Touchdown to interception ratio.
Ratio. Should have known.
Those 4 things tell me the story of every quarterback I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I dare you to find me one that bucks that trend. Because there are some that get sacked too much, but then you get in a touchdown to interception ratio and go, oh, that's it. Yeah, he gets sacked a lot, but he's 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Oh, okay. All right. That kind of makes it all make sense. You know what I've never done? I've never looked at a quarterback and gone, my God, he threw for 14,000 bajillion yards. He must be a superstar. No, not really.
No. Doesn't tell you how well a team moves the ball up and down the field.
Nope. Tells you how, because here would be my question. 9 times out of 10, if a guy throws for a lot of yards, what does that mean?
He's behind.
Yeah, you're down. You know who doesn't tend to do that? Teams that are good. Pat Mahomes, he's up there every year. You know why? Because he plays 17 games in a really good offense. Over the course of time, it'll just work itself out. You know who doesn't throw for a lot of yards? Josh Allen. Weird. Brock Purdy does. Josh Allen doesn't. To kind of make it make sense of how that's a super misleading stat.
All right, you got the Lions pass catchers outside of the main 2.
Yes. Because I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to have a tough time.
Mm-hmm.
That's something San Francisco does really well, is flushing out pass catching running backs. But if he could have a game. That's why I didn't include him with Laporta and Gibbs. Or with Laporta and Amon-Ra, excuse me. I know what I'm getting out of those 2.
Mm.
I don't know that they have special in them because of how locked down they're going to be with San Francisco. Jahmyr Gibbs needs to have a special game. Or Jameson Williams needs to hit a couple. It can be a sum of all parts. I don't really care. I'm going to need plays outside of those 2.
Mm-hmm. All right, my next selection, I'm going to go with the story out of San Francisco, Deebo Samuel. If he doesn't play, this team is different.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what their record is when he's not on the field or plays less than half the snaps?
How many times does it happen?
4.
1-3.
They're 0-4.
Really?
They are 0-4 when Samuel played less than half the snaps or did not play at all. He's 50-50 for this game, and we've seen Brock's different.
No doubt.
He's different when the scheme can't be perfect. When it's not as they planned it out in training camp, something happens. Maybe it's the defensive reaction. There's less to react to because there's less motion in the offense.
There's no doubt. That's why it's so big a deal with Samuel.
But I feel like it also disrupts Brock's process.
It does,
right? He's such a creature of habit.
What is it that Brock Purdy does so well? I mean, I've said routinely, athletically, he's a fraction above me.
Mm-hmm.
What is it Brock Purdy does so well?
Reading the defense.
That's exactly right. Why does he do that so well? Because no team in the NFL outside of the Miami Dolphins runs more pre-snap motion than the San Francisco 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
That pre-snap motion tips off about 85% of what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
If I can't do that, and I can start manipulating you, and I'm showing you something that's not really coming, I'm showing you a cover 1 look, throwing you cover 3, and it throws him off. I've seen him throw some horrific interceptions. Every one of them outside of Baltimore was without Deebo Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
All of them.
He is a major, major piece. And I feel like he will go. I mean, this is one of those where you go.
I agree with you. I just don't know how effective he's going to be.
Exactly. If he does, am I getting 60% Deebo? Am I getting 80%?
And at 60%, he might as well not be out there.
Exactly.
Because you'll run that dummy motion enough times, and I'll just go, you wouldn't throw it to him. Even if he broke wide open, you would throw it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Because we will kill him. I will hit him as hard as humanly possible. I'll give up 15 yards to get a free shot at that shoulder. And you won't do it. And as soon as I figure that out, all your pre-snap motion goes out the window. Yeah. Because if I'm Aaron Glenn, I go, cool, now I'm playing zone. I'm not moving. I'm not going to just let them beat me that way. I'm not scared of it.
All right, my next pick, taking the Baltimore safeties. Name the tight ends they're going to face in the next 2 weeks.
George Kittle and Travis Kelce.
Or?
Sam Laporta. It's 3 best in the league.
Exactly. You're screwed, right?
Outside of their own. By the way, anybody else see the irony in that? 4 best tight ends in the NFL, that's the 4 left.
All their teams are left, yeah.
That does my tight end whisperer heart just a lot of good.
No doubt. But the safeties are going to be tasked with it. Kelce this week, and then either Laporta or Kittle next week. Now, this may be another scenario where you don't give a damn because they're that good. Geno Stone, Kyle Hamilton, who else you going to throw at the tight end?
Oh, Roquan Smith. That's how I think this goes, is that I go super multiple. I'm going to throw Queen at him some. I'm going to throw Roquan at him some. I'm going to throw Kyle Hamilton. There's no team in the NFL that is better equipped to deal with a tight end than the Baltimore Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I feel so strongly about how this is going to go. It's because I look at all the advantages that Kansas City could have. Baltimore's got the answer for it. They got the ultimate answer for it.
Yeah.
Best in the NFL answer for it. It's a good selection. I didn't have it on my list, but I get it.
Yep. All right, your final selections?
You've got one more.
Yeah, but it's your turn, and it comes back to me after you make 2.
But you didn't take 2 right there.
I did. I took Deebo in the Baltimore safeties.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I was like, wait a minute. What am I forgetting? You're right. Look, it's
been a long week.
I got like 20-something minutes left before I'm gone for 11 days, hobnobbing with GMs and stuff. So, sorry. You want to play good, you try to play good, and I completely forgot what he just said. Okay. I've got 3, and I'm trying to cut one out.
Mm.
You know what? I'm going to take the one that I know I'm going to take. It's Isaiah Pacheco. If you make Kansas City one-dimensional, I think any of the 3 teams left can beat them. If Isaiah Pacheco has games like I have seen him have where he is running angry, you've got to keep that safety in the box. That gives Pat Mahomes all the advantage he needs. I would say Kansas City is the more beatable of the 2 AFC teams if they get past Baltimore. You're going to need something to happen. And you said earlier that Pat Mahomes is the only reason that they're here. I don't 100% agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Isaiah Pacheco's got a lot to do with it because you're keeping defenses honest. I can't just drop everybody and deal with Pat Mahomes like I could with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. That's just how special Mahomes is. That's how special Tyreek Hill was in this offense. That's how special Travis Kelce is. That every team in the league knew, okay, you can run, and I always laughed at people that would talk about, well, look, he scored touchdowns and had yards. He was facing 5-man boxes way more often than any of you want to acknowledge. Isaiah Pacheco, you just can't do it. He'll kill you.
Mm-hmm.
He will gut you like a catfish. And I think he is so important against Baltimore. Because if Baltimore is allowed to pull drop that extra safety, Kansas City, you're in trouble. That's why I think you have to avoid getting behind. Kansas City gets down 10, I feel like they're dead in the water. Did you take that? You make them one-dimensional, and I don't think Pat can do it by himself.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't take this, so I think I have to. Lamar Jackson. At the end of the day,
good pick.
At the end of the day, I've read this book, and Lamar's been special. To me, he's the unanimous, no doubt MVP. Runaway, it should not be close. This should be the biggest landslide vote we've ever had. But, Man, I've seen you do this. I've seen you come into the playoffs and lay an egg. And I'm not scared that it's going to happen. But it's kind of like the girlfriend that cheated on you that one time in the Bahamas. I'm not saying that's who you are. I understand there were drinks. I understand all that. But it's still in the back of my mind. And I know you got it in you. That's why I didn't take it until now. And I've had his name on my list the entire time. Just going, do I take him now? Do I take him now? I got to take him now.
Yep.
I think the only entity in these playoffs, you've said it with Mahomes, you've said it with Spagnuolo. I think the only entity in these playoffs that can beat the Baltimore Ravens is Lamar Jackson. Because if he comes out and does what he's done for 17 games of the regular season, well, 16 because he didn't play the last one, and one game in the playoffs, I don't think anybody's beat him. But if I get that bad Lamar shows up, playoff Lamar, the guy I've seen one too many times, I'm not sure they all three couldn't beat you.
No. All right, my final selection. It's another guy that has to prove himself in the playoffs over the next 2 weeks. You took Lamar. Great choice. I'll take Kyle Shanahan. I haven't seen you do it, and I've seen you get to the doorstep so many times.
You know
this is
funny?
the third in a row. Third NFC Championship in a row that they've been to. And I saw you blow it in the playoffs when you were in Atlanta, in the Super Bowl. You need to get it done.
You know what's funny? You know who I said I had three? Kyle Shanahan was my third.
Mm-hmm. It's prove it time.
I don't think Kyle Shanahan's what can beat you. I don't. Because I think his scheme is so solid, and Detroit really struggles in the back half. I don't think his scheme, I don't think any harebrained idea he gets coaching-wise can beat you.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's Brock Purdy that can beat you.
Okay.
That was the deciding factor. It was, like I said, it was written down here, and I almost said it. That was the tiebreaker.
And it's not just the offensive scheme with Kyle. It's the leadership of the team. Yes, there was an injury last year, but the rest of your team got punched in the mouth. They got out-physicaled by the Philadelphia Eagles. You're going up against a team that could do the same damn thing to you this time. Detroit's coming in to chew your kneecaps off. And if you're not ready, they will punch you in the face. You will lose this game. And Kyle Shanahan, you will be on the hot seat. Because there's only so many times you can get here. We've seen it with every coach in history to where they don't start talking about your job. I'm not saying it's going to happen soon.
I'm not so sure that wouldn't just be fans talking. I wouldn't need all the fingers on one hand to tell you how many coaches are safer than Kyle Shanahan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they could come out and get beat 41-0.
You think
and
so?
I don't think anything changes.
Really?
This is a window.
Super loud.
Look, this is a window. All right, just a little aside, and then we got to take a break. We've been going for a minute here.
Sorry.
Look at the roster as it sits. Name me another coach that can make this work. You think there's another coach in the NFL that's going to make Brock Purdy a borderline MVP? Yeah, me neither. You think there's another guy that's going to make Deebo Samuel the most important player in the NFL? Yeah, me neither. You think there's another coach that's going to make Brandon Ayuk? Well, I'll probably take him out. I think he's actually just that good. I don't really know why it took you that long to figure it out. I don't think there's anything to do.
Well,
San Francisco, to me, is the team that's painted in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
You are so indebted to Kyle Shanahan that it doesn't matter what he does.
No.
But the reason he was on my list is I have seen you almost single-handedly lose these games before. 28-3, big boy. You'll never live that down.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
On my list is I have seen you almost single-handedly lose these games before. 28-3, big boy. You'll never live that down.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
It's been an unsettled week. The clouds will stick around this afternoon, but no unsettling weather. Just very mild. I'll take it for January 26th. 68. Tonight, clouds, fog, 52. The next change Saturday with some scattered showers developing. Thunderstorms are also possible in the afternoon, high 60 and breezy. Saturday night to Sunday, showers, thunderstorms. They should end as showers Sunday morning, then gusty winds in the afternoon, bringing in the drier, cooler air, 48. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. As an MVP's Pro Rewards member at Lowe's, you get volume savings on orders of $1,500 or more at the Pro Desk because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. In-store only. Exclusions, restrictions, and more terms apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-374-2103. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-374-2103 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-374-2103. 800-374-2103. 800-374-2103.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch. We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
It is ESPN Asheville, and this is the Sportsocracy, and we are back live in the Ingles studio. Championship week. It's time to put your money where your mouth is and make your picks for the AFC and the NFC Conference Championship.
I feel like you're burying a lead here.
Well, I'm getting there.
You're taking too long.
Welcome back into the program. We want to also welcome in Dietrich Wise Sr. He's enjoying the program. We are so glad that you're along with us.
Yeah, that Dietrich Wise. We now have 3 famous listeners of this show: Dietrich Wise Sr., Luke Combs,
Dave Brown.
Dave Brown. Let's go with Dave Brown. Let's go. I was going to say Ben Johnson, but I don't know that he's ever listened to the show. I know he knows who we are.
I don't know about that.
They might have. Who knows?
Yeah, awesome. He says, love the show, gentlemen. Y'all destroy my son's team, but sometimes it's as needed. Ha ha. Keep up the good work. Thank you, sir.
We appreciate you, and I really wish your son played for the Jets. I remember his take. I swear I think it's Arkansas. I didn't look it up. I remember it was a red school. Tank and I play this game all the time of, hey, you remember that guy that went to, I don't know, TCU, Abilene Christian, and we go through every purple school because I can see you in the uniform, but I cannot remember the logo that's on the helmet.
Yep.
That was cool. Made my whole day. And now I get to slide into vacation, so I'll have a happy 11 days. Let's go.
Right on. And tell Junior anytime he wants to come on the show.
No
we'll
doubt.
be glad to have him.
Open spot. Actually, you know what? If he wants to co-host the show next week while I'm gone,
No doubt.
we'll let him do it.
Yeah.
I can make it happen. I'm a computerman.
Absolutely. I'll give you the phone number, 828-225-4988.
You should not have there are too many people that hate me. You should not have given the number out. You're going to get somebody that says the word starts with F and a whole lot of other words. My name in it.
All right. Championship weekend in the NFL. And, Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs. That's the first game on Sunday, and we will be doing the live reactions feed from our very own homes, testing out our mobile equipment before Jeremy makes his trip down to Mobile, Alabama next week for the Senior Bowl. We'll be doing live look-ins with him all throughout the week of all the practices and the one-on-one drills and all of that. It is the official kickoff of the Draftmas season before he returns for Super Bowl coverage the next week. So we're going to be checking in with you on that.
This is my bowl season. We go Senior Bowl. Let's see, Senior Bowl, Shrine Bowl, Hula Bowl. I think it's
Hula.
I think it's the Hula Bowl.
You watched the Hula Bowl?
I watched the tape of the Hula Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I'm not going. It's not appointment television for me, but yes, I do watch all this.
Very good. Now we'll be doing the live stream, live reactions.
Yes.
You got to plant your flag here, though. Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs. It's a 4-point spread. Jeremy, I believe you normally would take the Kansas City Chiefs whenever they're getting points.
Yes.
Are you doing it this time?
Look, I have a few basic rules in my life. If her name it belongs in a spice cabinet, you shouldn't date her. If she has a tattoo of a dagger, you should not date her because she will cut you in your sleep. One of my other rules is I don't ever give Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes more than a field goal. So I will happily take Kansas City plus the 4. I'm taking Baltimore to win. I'm thinking this is going to be nail biter. Lamar gets the ball last. Justin Tucker, and I won't be shocked if it's long, 58, 59, 60 yards as time expires to put them in the Super Bowl. That's how I think it goes.
Okay.
Mike Baker is on record 24-20 Chiefs. That would make the most sense. Because then Vegas just goes, we get all the monies.
I have to issue my apologies for all of the Baltimore Ravens fans.
Oh, no, no. You stay off this bandwagon. I have seen what you do to bandwagons.
I apologize. I can't go any other way here because I feel like Baltimore is the better team. And it feels weird to say this, but I'm not sure it's all that close. I think Baltimore's that good.
Do you have any dispute that these are the 4 best teams in the NFL?
No.
I don't either.
But I think Baltimore
The only one I'm stuck on is Buffalo, and I look at Buffalo and go, you know what? You had a good end of the year, but if I look at the whole body of work, you belong at 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got it right. It is correct here.
If this were like a NASCAR race, I would think Baltimore has about a half-car lead on everybody to start out with. You get a little bump in the road behind you, and you could win this thing by half a lap. I honestly do feel like there is a path for Baltimore to win in a blowout here. I don't necessarily think it's coming, but I would have taken this if it was close to a full touchdown. If this had been 6.5, I probably would have taken Baltimore to cover anyway.
I wouldn't. I think it's field goal on either side. And Chiefs Nation UK is taking the planting the flag on their Chiefs, and I get it. You very easily could be right. It's a field goal game on each side to me. Mm-hmm. These are to me, this is the 2 best teams in the NFL. And this is the Super Bowl to me.
Yep. I'll take Baltimore minus the 4 to cover against the Kansas City Chiefs.
And then
Do you not want to pick the over-under?
Oh, sure.
Let's see. Over-under is 44.5 over.
I haven't done this in a long time. On our fantasy show, I used to scream things if I was aggressive on them. And this one is a big old over. Yeah, they may hit 44 points in the first half.
Yes. Very well could be. Do you want to do prop bets for this one too?
I mean, I could find one if that's what you...
I'm going to give you mine for the AFC Championship game. I'm going to go over 62.5 rushing yards for Lamar Jackson.
I believe I know what mine's going to be. I just have to find it. Our buddy Travis Hancock, the morning show host in Charlotte, over 1.5 field goals, Harrison Butker and Justin Tucker. And I feel like that's the two easiest bets I've ever made in my life.
No doubt. I'm surprised it's that low.
I was too. He was the one that told me that. And as soon as I heard it, I went, and let's go to where Jeremy makes wagers until March 11th.
All right, let's go over to the NFC Championship game.
If you know anything about sponsorship things, you know why I just said that way. You know, and I know that you know.
San Francisco 49ers are a 7.5-point favorite against the Detroit Lions. I'm going Detroit.
I am too.
It's not even close.
I am too, and I'll go one step further. I'm going Detroit Lions money line. I think they win it outright.
Ooh. I don't have that one.
I'm going Detroit Lions money line. I think they win it outright. Let's just say I have a sneaking suspicion that this game is going to, when all of the public is on one side, I tend to go the other side, and I've done a lot of cool stuff in my life because of it. So I'm going Lions plus 7.5, plus the 270 in the money line, and I'll go under 51.5.
Under?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the over.
It's fine.
51.5.
943,000% of people are doing the same thing.
Are they?
Anytime I see that much money on something, I just go, hey, you know what? Let's throw a rack at the under. How about that? How's that sound? Let's do that. Sounds fun.
A whole rack?
Maybe.
Might
have.
How much is a whole rack? Is that 1,000? Is that 10,000? Is that 5,000? I have no idea what.
We have limited time and many picks. I'll explain to you after the show.
And prop bet.
I will go mine. I'm going sight unseen under 279.5 yards for Brock Purdy. I think this game's going to be grosser than people think.
Mm-hmm. What's Amonra's line?
It is receiving yards.
Yep.
Receiving yards is for Amonra. Oh, of course, that's the lower game. Is
over.
Well, where do you want to set it at? I'll tell you where on an alternate line.
I was thinking it'd be somewhere in the neighborhood of 75-ish.
You catch it. It's 80 and some change.
Yeah, I'll still go over.
If you're willing to go plus 110, you get plus 215 odds. And I'm willing. I'll do it. Worst spot in the secondary, slot corner. Gimme.
Yeah.
I'll
definitely
go
over. Definitely over the 80.
I'll go Amonra plus 120 at plus 310. I think he's gonna have a great game.
Yep. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Join us for the AFC Championship live reactions stream coming up Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock. We'll be back with you on ESPN Asheville and the YouTubes on Monday.
We won't. Radio friends, I'll see you in a week and a half.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
It's been an unsettled week. The clouds will stick around this afternoon, but no unsettling weather. Just very mild. I'll take it for January 26th. 68. Tonight, clouds, fog, 52. The next change Saturday with some scattered showers developing. Thunderstorms are also possible in the afternoon, high 60 and breezy. Saturday night to Sunday, showers, thunderstorms. They should end as showers Sunday morning.
Breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Adam Gold Show.